In this video, we're going to be completing our project, converting a recessed light into a flush mount light. Stay tuned, it's all coming up next. What's going on, folks? Kim with Renos for Pros and Joes, helping you simplify the renovation and remodeling process. On this channel, we do hands-on product tool and gear reviews, as well as renovation tip and strategy videos. So if you're interested in renovation, remodeling, repair, real estate, home improvement, or property maintenance, then subscribe, because this channel and this content is for you. So if you saw the previous video, which was entitled How to Convert a Recessed Light into a Flush Mount Light, then you know that we've been working on this project diligently. And in this video, we're going to be picking up right where we left off, and we're going to take this project on through to completion. So we're currently at this phase of the project. We have our bezel cut out for our recessed light to be able to convert it into a flush mount. The next phase that we're going to go through today is going to be to prime and paint our bezel, and then we're going to be taking this out to the job site for installation, along with our dimmer switch and the deinstallation or removal of the existing recessed light, which will also be something interesting for you to see because it's a size and a shape that you don't see all the time. So let me quickly show you the tools and supplies we're going to be using for this next phase of the project, which is going to be the paint phase. So before we actually apply our finish coats of paint in our desired color, we're going to be priming up our bezel. And what we're going to prime with is going to be the Zinsser BIN primer. This is a synthetic shellac that works very well on various types of building materials. So that's what we're going to be using to do that. And we're also going to be using a different paint technique than you may be expecting. We're not going to be using a brush, and we're not going to be using a traditional airless sprayer. We're actually going to be using an HVLP setup, and the unit that we're going to be using is going to be this. This is a central pneumatic HVLP sprayer, and in order to run this type of unit, you're also going to have a compressor hose, and this is the compressor hose that we're going to be using to do that today. You can use whatever type of compressor hose you have available to you. This is more of a lightweight hose. It's more used for shop purposes as opposed to one that actually have out on heavy construction sites and everything to be dragging around all over the place. And we're also going to be using a compressor to be able to push air to our HVLP sprayer. And the unit we're going to be using is none other than this one, the Makita MAC 2400 compressor. This is just a very versatile compressor just based on its overall size and functionality. You can use this compressor to be able to run roofing nailers, you can use this to run framing nailers, you can use this to run trim nailers, and you can even use it to run tools like pneumatic sprayers, provided that the specifications on the sprayer are compatible with the output of the compressor. So that concludes the basics of the equipment and tools that we're going to be using for this phase of the project. Let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, so one of the first things that we're going to have to try to figure out is how we're going to support our bezel to be able to paint it on both sides, because I'm not completely committed to which side I want to be the finished side. So we need to be able to put a finished quality paint finish on both sides of our bezel. So we need to basically set up a way to be able to support this so that we can paint both sides without having to handle it or without having it resting on something on either side. So I think the best way to do this is going to be able to drill holes in at least one side and support it that way. So that's what I'm going to try to do now. So that's the first hole. So let's then just try to drill one exactly on the opposite side of that one. Make sure our coat hanger is actually going to fit in that hole. Survey says. We're just going to paint this and use this to hold our bezel in place. So this is going to give us the opportunity to just go ahead and spray both sides. I think what I want to do is just make my handle shorter But as you can see, just as it's standing here, so much straw is falling that we're going to have to, at a minimum, relocate to somewhere that is not directly under trees. So this allows us to be able to hold it this way and spray. We can also hold it up like this and spray. But it does not help us avoid all the stuff falling from trees. So now we've got this set up and we're actually essentially ready to go. We are going to need to try and either plan to relocate, or we'll just have to take this somewhere else to allow it to dry.